Good morning, students. It's me, Miss Sania, and today we are back with another lecture. The topic which I have selected for today is factors affecting sugarcane in Pakistan. So hurry up, grab your notebook along with pencil and pen and start noting the important pointers. And yes, you're already familiar with the other guidelines. I am going to discuss this topic in detail because there were multiple questions along with MCQs which were included from the past paper. So let's get started. In this SLO, we are going to discuss how natural and human factors affect the production of small-scale and cash crop farms, that is sugarcane. Mainly, we are going to focus on sugarcane and about the natural and human factors. Now, starting with the introduction, sugarcane is an important cash crop of Pakistan, a major raw material for the production of wheat sugar, gur, kansari. Pakistanis is the biggest consumer of sugar in South Asia. When we talk about the whole South Asia, then they are the biggest consumers. It means the one who consume the most and they consume it more. And the products which are made from it are gur, white sugar, etc. Sugarcane plays a very important role as a point of cash crop farm. Starting with the factors affecting production of sugarcane. If the transportation of the sugarcane is slightly delayed, the sugar content is reduced and starts losing weight. And when it will start losing weight, then automatically the profit will be decreased. It will be minus. Then, starting with the climatic condition of sugarcane. Sugarcane is a crop of wet tropical lands with a dry ripening. It means that it has a dry ripening. It means when you cultivate it, it's dry. But yes, it is grown in the wet tropical lands. Dry and warm weather and the sea breezes increase the sweetness of sugarcane. So you can see that when there is a dry and warm weather, and yes, the sea breezes which comes across and flows through the fields of sugarcane, then it enhances and it increases the sweetness of those sugar canes. Now, starting with the temperature of sugarcane, it requires hot and humid weather throughout its vegetative growth. Its temperature requirement is from 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. Temperature above 40 degree and below 15 degree will harm the crop, tolerant to frost for a short period of time. It means that if you don't want to harm the crop, then definitely the temperature should remain in between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. That is the appropriate temperature for the crops to be grown. Okay, and they require hot and humid weather to be grown. You can see there is a picture of the sugarcane field on the right side. Now, starting with irrigation. Irrigation in Pakistan, irrigation is essential to bridge the gap. Its cultivation is limited within irrigated areas. Its crops require 16 to 18 irrigation of 4 inches depth. So you can see over here that in Pakistan, irrigation plays a very important and essential role. It bridged the gap. It bridged the gap between both of them, and yes, it cultivates the land as well and the irrigated areas too. The crop requires around 16 to 18 irrigation of 4 inches depth. Why do they require depth? If there is no depth, then definitely the crops can be lost. Then starting with rainfall. In Pakistan, rainfall is variable and lesser in amount. Rainfall requires plenty of rainfall. Around 1,520 millimeters rainfall is required if they want to grow the crops. In the previous slide, so you can see that how exactly the irrigation system is set. Well, the line which is drawn in between just for the irrigation canal to be set over there as well. Now, coming towards that, and yes, you can see in this picture there is a gap in between. Why? Because we have to transport water. The water would be transplanted. This is how sugarcane will grow. Now, starting with soil, it can be grown in a variety of soils. Loam and clay soils with silt are most suitable as they retain the water, consumes a lot of nutrients and exhaust the soil. Application of manure and fertilizers containing nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash is needed every year. Deep, fertile, and well-drained soils are suitable for sugarcane cultivation. So you can see that we need variety of soil for that purpose. If you're not having variety of soil, then definitely we cannot have those nutrients, because every soil contains nutrients. And yes, application of fertilizers containing such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potash is needed for this purpose. We need deep fertile land for this purpose, so that the drainage should also be present over there, because if you're not draining the crops, then automatically it can occur into flood. Now coming upon the process of sugarcane cultivation. First of all, we plant the sugarcane. But before planting, we just set the field, distributed sets in the field. It means that we are making the land appropriate, or we are designing the land appropriate for the seeds to be planted. Then that's a good land and that's an improper land. But we need this sort of land for the sugarcane plantation. Then without subsoiling and with subsoiling. So then after that, we are pouring seeds into that. And then after a couple of days, this is the result which we are getting after subsoiling. Then we are covering the sets with soil. It is important that you should cover it with soil, otherwise you will lose your crop. Then place the sets along the center of the forest. Well, it is very important that you should place it in the center. Once when you place it in the center, then automatically the plant will grow. Sugarcane enriched and furrows. So you can see this is how it will grow if you're placing it in them. Then comes the harvesting of sugarcane. Harvesting of sugarcane at a proper time, for example, peak maturity, by adopting right techniques is necessary to realize maximum weight of the malleable canes, thus sugar, produced with least possible field losses under the given growing environment. It means that harvesting should be done on the appropriate time. If you're not harvesting the crops on the appropriate time, then definitely it will trouble you. Then the type of harvesting is known as manual harvesting, in which you're utilizing your own hands to harvest the crops. And the other harvesting is known as mechanical harvesting, in which you're utilizing machines and labor force, which you can see even over here as well. Despite of the fact the labor is sitting inside, but still machines are operating all of these harvesting things. Now, the products which are made from sugarcane are sugar, the world's favorite high energy and all natural sweetener, because obviously we are giving the sugar to the other world as well. Ethanol, it means the other international countries as well. Then comes the ethanol, a clean, affordable, and renewable transportation fuel. Transportation fuel is required, obviously, because you have once when you have fuel, then definitely you can reach to another destination. Bioelectricity, leftover sugarcane biomass can be burnt and converted into electricity. And then bioplastics, beverages containers, food packing, and other consumer products made with sugarcane use less or no oil compared to standard plastic. Biohydrocarbons and beyond, it means that this is how you're utilizing. And then the cutting edges of sugarcane innovation, where scientists are using cane to produce fuels that could replace gasoline, diesels, and jet fuel without needing petroleum. So, without needing petroleum, they can produce all of these things as well. And yes, if you want, so these all are basically the things that how it is produced and how it is benefiting in the other ways as well. And if you want to see the process, that how it is harvested and how the sugarcane is produced, so you can search multiple videos on YouTube, you'll get it, and there you can see that. So the sugar mills in Pakistan, total of 106 mills in the country of Pakistan are present. Sugarcane average in Pakistan is fifth in the world, and it is grown on over 1 million hectares. So you can see Pakistan rank on the fifth number in case of sugar. Pakistan ranks 15th in the world for sugarcane production. For the sugarcane production, you can see that it is ranking on the fifth one, and for sugarcane, it is ranking on the fifth in the world, and it's grown over. Now, the GDP contribution is 0.6%, employment is 1 million, and then per capita consumption is 26 kg. Then comes that where exactly you can find sugarcane in Pakistan. Cultivation areas of sugarcane in Pakistan are Sindh, where you can have it in Nawabshah, Hyderabad, Badin, Thatta, Sanghar, Thar Parker, and Dadu. And then when I talk about the areas of Punjab, then you can have it in Gujarat, Rahim Yar Khan, Sheikhupura, etc. You can even have it in the other provinces such as Balochistan, but there is no cultivation in Balochistan of sugarcane. But yes, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, you can have it in Peshawar and Mardan, and you can just read the rest by yourself. So, SLO number 5.3.2, discuss how natural and human factors affect the production of small scale and cash crop farms, sugarcane. We are going to focus on the word sugarcane, in which we are going to discuss about the natural and human factors which are affecting this. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope this presentation turned out to be something interesting and important for all of you. And I hope that all of those misconceptions you are having in your mind are pretty much clear up till now. But still, if you're having any sort of questions, you can ask me on KP under my instructions, or you can even ask me on my YouTube channel. I will respond to you over there as well. Inshallah, we'll return back with another presentation for all of you. Till then, take care, barakallah, and Allah Hafiz.